Greetings! I have returned. In my last video, I talked about a kinda now known series called Angel Hair, where I talked about what do you think? And while I'm still debating whether I should make a follow-up to that video, I decided I wanted a more serious topic. And that topic is YouTubers are not your friend. Now, if you actually have a YouTuber that's actually your friend, good for you. But for this video, I wanted to talk about a certain viewer. A weird one, in fact. Someone that will donate their entire life savings just for their favorite YouTuber or streamer to notice them. And that someone is me. And thinking about it still makes me cringe. So I'm gonna tell you guys what exactly happened those past few months ago. What I'm trying to say is that this is basically a storytime video, so here we go. Now, I'm pretty sure that you all have heard of the YouTuber Pastra. Pastra joined the YouTube scene back in 2018, where he discussed lots of horror content and games. He even made his own analog horror called Dreams of Insomniac, which I also really enjoy. And not to mention, you would definitely want this guy reviewing horror games because he's Canadian.
Your whole family has a nice...
Now, when I first found out that Pastra existed, I was kinda skeptical. The only video that caught my eye was him talking about Bendy and the Ink Machine, yay! And the more I watched more of his videos, the more I fell in love with his content. I loved his art, I loved his personality, I loved the people he played with, everything about this guy, I loved it! But little did I know that love would turn into an obsession. Now, while I was going through this obsessive fanboy phase, I attended Pastra's Deathless Bendy in the Dark Revival run. And the purpose of that stream was him trying to get Bendy in the Dark Revival's hardest achievement, that being Ink Master, where you had to complete the whole game without dying once. And while I managed to get my hands on some cash, I decided to ask him a question. My name was Cade Guy.
Rabbit very much. I'm glad to hear you bought the plushie.
Hey Pastra, what are your thoughts on my favorite protagonist of all time, Ethan Winters?
Ethan Winters is my favorite Resident Evil protagonist. You are so base for that. Ethan Winters is the best. People are way too hard on him. I have seen so many people talk about the fact that they don't like Ethan as a protagonist, and none of the reasons ever make sense to me. I love him so much.
To my fanboy brain, him calling me based is probably the best thing that ever happened. A while into the stream, I decided to send him another question.
I've seen a lot of evidence that you watch Evil Dead movies, so what are your thoughts on on my second favorite film protagonist, Ash Williams? Ash is my favorite character in cinema. Evil Dead's my favorite franchise.
Don't get me wrong, I was extremely hyped.
Yeah!
But it was like a bad hype, something my 5-month-old self didn't know yet. Even though I can't find the last comment I sent, it was just straight up asking me, no, begging for Pastra to be my friend. Just, like, bro, what the fuck was I thinking? I was feeling no guilt, not even a glimmer of regret. And not to mention, I was spending $5 on these donations, each. I wasn't even completely aware that I was being robbed by myself. And there I was, just spending away. And this is when I was just working with my mom, just getting a paycheck a month. Until a fateful day came. 4 months ago, Pastra posted this from his Twitter onto his community page. I'll give you a second to pause it so you can read it, but you can pretty much know where this is going just from the second post. It took me a few seconds, but it snapped me back to reality. And then I was like, oh my god, I'm an obsessive bitch. So I decided to send a full-blown apology, basically saying that he has full-blown permission to ban me from his streams. Basically, the lesson here is that don't be clingy to the person that you look up to the most. And certainly don't be like that to anyone you know, especially if it's someone you extremely care about or anyone else for that matter, and you don't want to ruin that bond with them. I don't know if Zach's gonna watch this video, but if he does, Zach, please don't ban me from your streams. I need to know if you watched Angel Hair. I need that in my goddamn life. Well, that's probably the most mentally draining thing I've ever had to confess to. Well, if you like this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I actually know what I want to do for next video. You ready? I'm going to do a video on Friday Night Funkin'. Fucking shoot.